to get our attention. He has to create that crisis so that we can figure out what we need to do in our lives. Because God is alive in us. And God wants us to do His purpose. Also, the men, where did they take Saul? They took Saul to Damascus. So in other words, here was Saul's intent. I am going to Damascus. I am going to arrest all these Jews that are Christians of the way, who are bad people. I'm going to take them from Damascus. I'm going to take them back down to Jerusalem. And guess what happens? Jesus or God says, I don't think so. I've got a master plan for you. I want to talk to you, and I want you to decide what you need to do. So He strikes him down. And so for 3 days, Saul could not see, and Saul fasted for 3 days. In other words, he could not see, he did not eat or drink for 3 days. You think he was doing some thinking during that time? He had just seen a significant crisis in his life. And it's like a cliffhanger. Next week, we're going to show what he did about it. We've got it where he has to make a decision. Because why do we need to know about this one little segment of the Bible that is so significant to the whole world of Christendom? The first thing is, we need to see that Saul's life was interrupted for a specific purpose. God chose him to do something totally different for a reason. And this is what happens when you have a crisis. An encounter with God requires faith. And that's one thing we learned from this little discussion here, is that when Saul was knocked down and Jesus says, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? Saul had faith. He knew who it was. So when you have an encounter with God, it's just to see how your faith is. See if it's growing. See if it's becoming stronger. Because all encounters with God are God-sized. In other words, if God is going to take the time to talk to you, if God's going to allow you to have a crisis in your life, it's for a reason. And it is up to us to talk with God and study with God so that we know what that reason is. Saul's invitation. Remember, Jesus came down and said, Saul, Saul, why do you persecute me? And he says, Lord, what do you want me to do? And the Lord tells him where to go. The Saul's invitation from God reveals that he had an instant belief in who God was, and he really wanted to obey who God was, and wanted to obey what God wanted him to do. And last but not least, Saul's belief in God results in a life-changing direction. We will no longer see Saul of Tarsus, the persecutor of the people of the way. We're going to see Saul from Tarsus, the man who promotes the way. And that is my lesson for today. Does anybody